We're live already. How's everybody doing? We'll be playing some Harp. What should I play here? We'll start off with something wooden. Is the mic working? Yes. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I missed the comment. I got lost in this harp. I've been finding in the wooden harps, if you get them rolling just right, you can get that breathing rhythm. And I haven't sussed it out yet exactly what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong yet, but need another couple more months on playing these Corinding. Hey, Jaden Hoskins, hello. How you doing? How's the harp? And y'all know how y'all doing? It's going pretty good. How's things going in the great out yonder? The melodics that come off of wood are just so clean. I used to dislike a cleaner sound. I used to, oh, you should play a Christmas song if you can. I don't know any Christmas songs. I'm not very good at imitating songs on the harp. Maybe that's something I need to work on in the future. Pretty much the only thing I do is just come up with rhythms off the top of my head. Hey, Tina Schmidt, how you doing? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you as well. And I think something that's helped too is, I think when I was trying to do open close on the wooden instruments, I was just closing my soft palate. I was just trying to close the back of my mouth. It's kind of a hammering feeling in the throat, I think. I'm not, don't quote me on playing the wooden instruments, but I'm still very much a student or somebody trying to learn how to play the wooden one. So when you do the close, the kind of got to put some oomph to it because these wooden instruments don't feel as sensitive as the metal ones with really tight gaps. So you can get really cool stuff going on with them, but you just kind of got to go about it a bit different way or have a different mindset. Yo. There, I was putting some breath in that yet and anyways, we'll switch over to some metal ones. This is how's Kansas? It was cool today. It's being pretty warm out right now for Kansas. I think going into January, we're going to be getting into some colder weather again. Kind of got the colder weather early, then it went away. You know, this one is going to my good friend George, and he said I could play it for the live upload. He said, "Oh, people need to see this. This is a double Gorka. They're a strange beast." Oh, somebody doesn't want to go to sleep. Hear that? Upstairs, be hollering. Oklahoma's cold. Yeah, you get the good wind out. We get some pretty good wind in Kansas, but Oklahoma gets a good supply of wind as well. That wind will chill you a little bit. It feels a little bit easier to play than the Glazerin one, because the Glazerin one you have to have your teeth a little bit further apart. That one sounds, it does sound a bit funky. It's a two-reeded one. Probably not an everyday player, kind of like a Glazerin duet, but it's really, really out there weird. And I barely play on it. This one isn't mine. This one's going to my friend George. But he says, go ahead and play it for the live uploads. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. They draw too, which is weird. Right, Tina said stereophonic stuff. I don't know what stereophonic is. I'll have to look that up. Yeah. Oh, I missed somebody's comment. And they're not an expensive harp either. It's the beauty of the Morchang. You can get an awesome instrument and not be expensive. But Morchang are going to require a different mindset because there's not that saturation. Hey, Charles Longstaff, how you doing? There's not that saturation going on. And I talked to somebody who knows a lot more than me. I asked them, like, well, because people keep asking me, I keep using the word saturation. People keep asking, well, what is saturation? I couldn't explain it. I guess saturation is an abundance of higher overtones in the harp, I believe, causes that crackle and that really sad. It's hard to explain, but that saturated sound you get with Glaseron harps and get with Solagis as well. Oh, hey, Sky Rain, how you doing? Oh, there I switched over to breathless play, just breathing in and out through my nose a little bit. And it's weird to try to draw through a harp with your mouth open that wide because you get all this extra air. There we go. Play another harp. A harp I just got in, a harp that I had three of the Makseyevs come in. And then one of them was made for me. It's untuned. It actually falls just a bit above B. He asked me, do you want me to take it to B? I'm like, no, just leave the harp where it is. I like the natural tone of a harp. This Makseyev is away. The new Makseyev are they're stainless. The old ones it seem quite a bit smaller as well. The old ones are steel. The old ones are really good as well, but this new one I kept, the untuned one. I was playing a bit on it earlier upstairs. Oh, ear consent, how you doing? Not a whole lot's up, just playing some harps, and might have a video coming out tomorrow. Monday for sure, I'm going to be doing the live upload. I'll be raffling off 1 to 2 of the harps that people commented on that last 2 videos back. And then that'll be probably the last video till after New Year's. Gonna take a short break for the holiday season. But yeah, I'm betting these new Makseyev are gapped quite a bit tighter too because they have a lot. Ooh, the old Makseyev are a little bit looser gap, but they're still really tight. The new Makseyev are almost as tight as a Mohan, which is Mohan are gapped about as tight as anything. This is the Makseyev. Yeah, the new Makseyev are really good. They just kind of, when you hit the open close technique, they have good bell rings. When you start feeding them breath too, they'll do that purring thing. Yeah, Makseyev is a fantastic maker, and he's pretty young too. Or from his pictures, he looks pretty young. Highly recommend Makseyev. What other? Oh yeah, I should play something draw startable. What are y'all playing? What's been on y'all's harp tickets for the week? What harps have you been focusing on? I've been jumping around a lot on the 2 Corinding I own, and then some more Chang, some other harps. Today the Makseyev. Oh, sometimes you get a draw startable harp roll and you can just keep it going. There, I was holding my mouth like I was whistling and hitting the open close with some in breath, some out breath, and the open close. Just holding my mouth real tight, just milking the or trying to hit the upper overtone. Hi, Oh yeah, the harp. Anybody can get good at the harp. I haven't been playing. I've been playing a little bit less than 3 years. It's not how long you've been playing. It's how much you play every day. I would blank off, if you're really serious about the harp, blank off at least 15, 20 minutes a day playing the harp. But maybe at first keep your intervals shorter than that, especially if you're starting off on a stiff reeded harp, because your teeth and your jaw will kind of get sore at first if you play a whole bunch on the harp. Especially like if for your first day you get a harp, you spend several hours playing it, you'll probably have some soreness of your mouth just from because you're not used to using those muscles of holding up against. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a more accurate representation of I've ever been able to do on a harp dry. Because normally when I try to do a technique on a harp dry, I can't do it. There's like, so my mouth's tight and almost flat, and I'm like coming from the back. Sometimes you'll use the cheeks. You see my cheeks? Just give it a puff of air. You're feeding it air inward and outward and stopping with the close, but also every once in a while hit it with a puff of air that it's weird to do without the harp. Yeah, it is sometimes really difficult to do a technique without the harp, because with the harp, when the harp's there, I've got something, I call it back pressure. I don't know what people who are more learned on the harp call it. I just call it back pressure because there's resistance to the instrument. Like a Gorka, I have a little bit less resistance. The gaps are a little bit bigger, so I'm able to feed it more air. If I'm like when I was playing the Makseyev, the gaps are laser tight, or a Moham, the gaps are laser tight, so you'll feed it less air, so you kind of match your breathing to the instrument. Different instruments like some of these Morchang, like the Gorka, you got to feed them a little bit more air to get them rolling, and you can pop them a little bit more. An instrument that's with really tight gaps with a lot of resistance, you don't want to pop it hard to get that. There I'm blowing through too much, and it's fuzzing it up. If I slow down and give it maybe half what I was giving the Gorka, But I don't want to be overdoing it because blowing too much air through it really, I think, hinders the sound. But there's times when overblowing the harp can really add something to a song, and especially like when you're playing Jerome, which are really breathy. Sometimes overblowing it can be a part of the rhythm, working it in. I haven't done that in a long time. I might as well make a fool of myself overblowing the harp. There, I'm kind of blowing too hard, but I'm still keeping the rhythm going. What else should we play? I was really getting into playing that Gorka. I should play. I've got a Gorka small. Some of the Rekka that came in were really good, but I don't have any of the current Rekka in my collection. What do I want to play? I want to play Gorka small. Oh, I know what I want to play. I got super weird on the harp last night. I was up until about 1:30, so I had a good 2 hours of playing the instrument. Oh, yeah. I haven't done any live unboxings for a while. I should do one again. I just did a Matseyev today, but I pre-recorded it two-shot unboxing because the harps are so beautiful. I knew that they would be. So I'm like, I want to get the big camera up above. I have a camera on a tripod up here that shines down for my shot, and then my iPhone 7 looking at me. But yeah, up and coming, maybe I will do another live unboxing. To scratch more, and I'm learning more on it. I try to play it at least once every couple of days. Like last night, I really got lost in it. There's subtle differences in how you hit with the handle, like if you're just grazing or sometimes tapping and getting off. And if you start holding it at an angle, it seems to kind of blur them together a little bit more. When you start holding more perpendicular, you get really crisp sounds. And the tones are really killer. Just like in a Corinding, there's no saturation. There's no higher overtones. There's just the... I don't even know if percussives like this would have an overtone to it. Because they're definitely not like a drone, like a harp. But they can be played almost melodically. Oh yeah, I've got a ton of Dan Moy around. Shoot me a message. I'll send you out a whole bunch of Dan Moy. Buzz to somebody's comment about needing more Dan Moy. Dan Moy are a good. You get a lot of sensitivity and a lot of volume out of a Dan Moy. But I would just be careful giving them to too small children because they are sharp. You wouldn't want one to fish hook into their mouth. I've cleaned Dan Moy before, and I've learned that in cleaning this, where's my Dan Moy at? But anyways, when you clean a Dan Moy, clean it in one direction. Don't pull back. This is not a Dan Moy. This is a Fuzzois. Oh, there's my Dan Moy. Because one time I was cleaning the Dan Moy, and I would clean it this way, and then I went to go this way and ran one of the reeds in my thumb. And the double tongue ones aren't as bad, but the single reed ones, I ran it probably a 1/4 inch into my thumb. It wasn't pleasant. Oh, yeah, young man has a cold up there. He is fighting the sleep. Yeah, I'm scratching more. If I was to come up with a name for this, I'd call it a brain fiddle because they're really, really weird. Anyways, what else should we... Oh, yeah. Another Gorka Mini. I've got... Oh, yeah, somebody was asking me about a holotrip. I've got a holotrip up there I'll play, too. What instruments does everybody like? Somebody... Flying Flurrock says, I might get a Dan Moy one day, but for now... Oh, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's I'm kind of whipping the top of my tongue and catching the air. Also, when punching an out breath and a hold, while going. Another thing that matters is finding where the overtones want to be. Kind of like if you're whistling, but your tongue isn't shaped right, your overtones aren't probably going to... And I don't even know if I'm describing a whistle right, because I don't know if a whistle is an overtone thing. I'm not sure on that. But finding the proper mouth shape to reinforce the tones you want. Oh, they're talking about Dan Moy. I'll just demonstrate a Dan Moy. Dan Moy for the money. Dan Moy are really cool. Some people get really good on the Kuzan as well. The like 5-bladed Chinese brass harps. This is if I can get it out of there. Oh, that poor young man upstairs. He is just gonna fight bedtime. I like to keep a pair of needle nose handy. My Dan Moy gets stuck in the box. It's a double tongue one. Ooh, wow. A loud door slamming up there. And there I'm doing a lot of closed glass. Here if I was like hui, but hui, hui, hui. I have not ever attempted to make a Dan Moy. I believe, and don't quote me on this because I'm not an authority on any of this, but I believe to get those that thin, they scrape or they scratch their way through until they meet the other side. That's why it's flat on this side and barely any gap. And they take something and I think they rub it on there till it basically rubs through the brass. I did get sent a curious harp that I may be rereading. A friend of mine named Scott mailed me this harp. He bought it on eBay. And he bought it, it said England, or he bought it from the UK, I believe. And it was from an estate sale. And it said it was from a dig somewhere, that it was a pre-medieval or medieval jaw harp. I'd say it's very old. I don't know much more about it, but it was supposed to be a medieval or pre-medieval or something, jaw harp from a dig there in England. And I don't know if I'm going to recreate this. He gave me the option of putting a new reed in this. I'm like, it's old and it's in its original form. I don't know if I want to do that. I might still, but I'm wondering, I think this might be bronze, but I'm not sure. Or it might be iron. Might have to recreate it in either steel, or if it's bronze, maybe see if I can make a sand casting of it or something. And try to put a reed in it, because that'd be a really cool project. But it'd almost be cool as well to leave this original and make a copy of it. but it's a lot smaller than I thought it'd be. Very, very cool. Oh, another cool thing. Check this out. It's from the unboxing. I haven't aired yet. It's getting ready to be edited together tomorrow. This is a burl of wood that Makseyev sent me for making a case, and you can tell it's got really irregular grain pattern. I think he called it a nut tree, maybe, and then a forged copper harp of one of his style, but in copper. He asked me if I'd put a reed in it. I'm like, oh sure, I'd definitely try. I've never put a reed in a harp of this style. Oh yes, what Sky says, that sipping on the harp. But yes, it's really cool that he sent me a harp. It's almost kind of intimidating too, because I'm like, oh, Makseyev is a master maker. I hope I don't go ruining this frame. But the fear of failure isn't going to keep me from trying to put a reed in this. It's a very cool harp. I'll have to polish it up and do some artwork on it. But very cool stuff's going to be coming up in 2019. Hopefully I'll have time for more videos of building and stuff like that, putting a reed in a harp, and maybe trying to recreate that medieval harp. Maybe I'll have time for stuff like that. What else have we got? What else do we need to play? I need to play some upper melodic stuff, or a higher tuning of melodic. Oh yeah, that one. So he says they broke one. Oh, did you break a Dan Moy? I've broken a Dan Moy before. I've never broke a harp reed yet, but I have broke a Dan Moy. They more of cracked on one of the places where they had rubbed it through. Oh yeah, the holotrope. Oh yeah, that holotrope's already sold. I've got a holotrope coming. I've also got a whole bunch of and some other really, really cool Naya or Niega. I think his name is pronounced closer to Niega, but it's spelled like Naya when translated to English word or English letters, alphabet. This is the holotrope. They keep getting deeper. This is a Niega or Naya holotrope is what he calls it. Each one's decorated different. Some of them have like alien looking stuff like this one. I had him make one specifically for me that was untuned. I really get into harps that aren't to Western notes. It means that I can't play it with other people in a band, but 99% of my play is going to be by myself. It's going to be solo. And you was asking about the Orbit too. That Orbit he makes is about as long as this, but the frame is just huge. It's going to be lower than this probably. It's good advice there. I do not have an Orbit harp. I've got one coming in on the shipment from Naya that just left a couple days ago. It's probably going to be at least 2, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 4 at the most, because it's the tail end of the year. But yeah, that Orbit is like, it looked from the picture, it looked like it was this long, but the back of it looks like it's that big, which is a massive instrument. This one's heavy enough you wouldn't want it on a necklace like the case he sends them with. It's just like a pocket case, which is still huge. And it's pretty easy to pluck. I've had ones that are a little bit less sensitive that you can pluck super fast. With plucking a harp with a long throw like this, if you look at the reed on it, look at how far it's throwing. It's throwing clear. Hi, Jamie. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, that's the small steel. That's a good morning. But when a harp has a long throw like this, it's not a you have to hit it fairly accurately, but most importantly, what I found is timing out where the reed is. Like if you're playing it quickly, you want to be contacting in an area that's nice for it to contact, like the center of its throw, not when it's come all the way forward and then start coming back, because that long throw, it's easier to miss it. Oh, I missed the comment. Yeah, that harp, especially with it being not tuned any note, it's like they're playing, it felt like it was tribal or something guttural, just a crying out. I really, really dig the holotrope, but it's not, I don't play the super low bass instruments really, really often. But when I do play them, I really get into them, especially like the holotrope ones. Some other bass instruments of note would be like the deep palmable. I've got some more G0s coming in the future here, which is a super deep note. I can't remember what this wouldn't be anywhere near as deep as a G0, but the palmable, they're not even very big. They just really thin, papery thin reeded harps, and they got that purring, that wah. They're crazy. But what are some other harps? Most of my brain went out the window on that song. When you're breathing, keeping a breathing rhythm like that, you got to feed the holotrope a lot of air and bounce a lot. Yes, yeah, I have a G0. Oh yes, you do. That was the one I'm talking about. Deep bass palmable. What's another? Oh yes, I'll play this one from the raffle. I'm gonna be raffling this off on Monday to everyone who's commented on that. This is, it's just a Glasner aesthetic, but I did make some change to it. I removed the reed and then I ground off, and it's a very, very tapering grind, and then I polished it again. The trigger dropped it down from A sharp to G1 sharp, and it's got a lot more sustain. It's got some interesting qualities because the reed isn't as thick. Got all that extra sustain. Normally, most Glasner harps, it's gonna the note's gonna hit hard and then it's gonna drop off a lot quicker. The note decays a little bit faster. Here, I got a lot more sustain out of it. It did cost it some volume, but it's a very, very cool harp. I'm going to be raffling that off, and probably another harp, maybe a surprise or mystery harp. Oh, cool. Oh, you just subscribed. Oh, cool. Like I was saying, it'll be Monday morning. Would be the Christmas Eve morning, and then there probably won't be any videos till after the first of the year, maybe even a week after the first year. I'm currently losing the comments. Got too many conversations going on. I'm probably going to play one more harp and end the live upload. Lots of cool stuff are coming up in 2019. And I'll play one more harp. What do I want? Oh, I want to play XAM. Anyways, I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them oiled. Adios. Somebody says, here was the comment. Watching my first. Oh, I lost the comment. I think they were asking about a good beginner harp. The Glazerin, especially the Wave, Lighthouse, and Compass are really good beginner harps. So are Solagi Chancellors. Chancellors are super easy to play. Plus, they're really loud. A bunch of oil stuck to that one. I don't know what's going on with you. There's a whole bunch of oil stuck to it. Anyways, we're going to wrap this video up. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them oiled. Be good to each other. It's been a wonderful year. I'm really looking forward to 2019 and all the fun harping times we're going to have. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas, Merry Yule, Merry Hanukkah, whatever be your fancy. Have a good time. Love y'all. Adios.